All right, so we're going to go ahead and use Tinkercad now to create a parallel circuit. And if you notice, I already have some components already in here. I have a breadboard, I have a power source, I have 2 resistors and 2 LEDs. And again, the reason why I have a LED and resistor is because we noticed previously that just having the 9-volt battery and the LED, we needed some resistance. So let's go ahead and we're going to connect and create a parallel circuit. So let's go ahead and get started. If you notice, again, we have to also think about the flow of electrons kind of as we're going through. So the positive terminal and negative terminal of the battery are connected to the rails, power rails we call them on the breadboard. I'm going to go ahead and place in the components for my first part of the parallel circuit. And if you remember, I'm also going to rotate this so I can input it properly. Parallel circuits really are when there are multiple paths of electricity. So let's create our first path, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and, again, the positive side goes to here. So I'm going to bring a wire from that positive rail to the terminal row of that first resistor terminal. So that resistor terminal 2, it's connected along that same row, which means that positive flow of the positive side is actually going to be flowing through the red wire, through this positive rail. Again, it's positive because it's connected to the positive part of the battery. And it's then going to travel through the green wire into row 28. Okay, and then through that row 28, it's going to connect to the resistor, go through the resistor, but then it stops. It's connected, the power currently is connected to this row 24 and these 5 terminals. But let's go ahead and now we need to connect that row 24 to the anode side of the LED, which is row 22. Okay, so now electricity is going to be flowing through the resistor, across a few rows on the breadboard, through the anode side, and then through the LED. But then where does it go? I need to now, from this row, and again, you could bring it here, that's fine. You could also hit escape. You could also start from here and bring it to the negative. Or if you wanted to, you could start here. It's up to you. As long as you start this wire on row 21. Okay, and I'm going to start here just to make it a shorter wire. And I'm going to bring it to the negative or the ground. And I'm going to change that to black. Okay, so there is, believe it or not, our first little circuit. And we can even let's test our simulation. Yeah, light turned on. Awesome. Great work. So now we're going to go ahead and build the next parallel circuit, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. Bring in my LED. I need to rotate my resistor and whoops, there we go. And I need to place that in here. And now I need to actually build the circuit. So again, I start from the positive side of the power rail and I go to and towards that first terminal of the resistor. Now, again, I need to connect the resistor now to the anode side of the LED. And then I need, from the cathode side of the LED, connect it to the ground or the negative power rail. And I'm going to change it to black just so that it's clear. I like to change that to red just so that's clear, which means I also want to change this one to red to make that very clear. And really the green wires are just kind of connecting the components, okay? So let's go ahead and make sure it works. I'm going to start my simulation and both the LEDs lit up. Awesome. So again, remember the properties of a parallel circuit. If I have one LED or one of the components not working, like kind of similar to a set of string of lights nowadays, pull that out and I'm going to start my simulation. It shouldn't affect the other LED or the other light. And if you notice, it doesn't, right? This LED is still working, okay? Stop that simulation. Let's make sure I place it in here correctly. There you go. So what I like to do now is go ahead, play around on your own. You need to build a parallel circuit. And technically, if you look at this circuit that I built before you guys head off, yes, we have one path of electricity here, and we have one path of electricity over here circuit. So there's kind of, in essence, two circuits. And technically, this resistor is in series with the LED. So we, in a way, we kind of have a combination circuit too, but it's definitely a parallel circuit. So go ahead, build your own.